Welcome to the Glolent podcast, the podcast for remote work and freelancing in practice. Welcome again, Vicens, to this new episode of the Glolent podcast. Happy to have you here again.
Hello, Behsaad.
Today we will talk about, very enthusiastic today. Today we will talk about the release of the Glolent new application and the Gerlent new application.
Mm-hmm.
And you were developing parts of it together with the team and actually big parts of the front end.
Mm-hmm.
And we will talk about the process and the challenges and how it actually was to migrate an old Rails app into a new React Rails app, basically.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I mean, I think there are few topics that we are not so proficiency of this one. So I think this one we can give some insight. I mean, it's a good experience that we can share with other people for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot of stuff to talk about. How do you want to start? Behsaad? I mean,
I would like to start talking about the duration. So
duration.
If you go on the website, you can see that we have basically a relatively small app, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
We have a job board, we have an application, we have a landing page, some sites for podcast, and we outsourced the blog to Medium and so on.
Yeah.
So, and in the end, we realized we spent, I think, part-time. We're all not working full-time on this. We're far from full-time, but we all spent part-time about more than half a year, I think, on this. Right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, for sure. Yes. I mean, the thing that a lot of things were going under the hood in this project. I mean, first of all, we had a plain old Rails app deployed in Heroku, no? That's what we had.
Yeah.
So Rails super good for prototyping. Some models were created. And we were using the template engine from Rails. So the translation from model to view is easy and straightforward. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, all the tech stack that Rails gives us out of the box, REST. I mean, it was even not REST at all. It was just
it's basically you have the MVC model view controller and Rails, and you have some routes and basically the gems to help you with the admin, the translations, and so on. So, and we used a lot of Rails gems, and I think it's great to create an MVP.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem might be with a Rails app. I mean, there's a lot of Rails apps that are out there that are bigger scale, but I felt we needed something more appealing and more modern and more flexible. So since we have two platforms as well, I wanted to create an API basically and an API backend and have a flexible front end, which gives us more flexibility, and also React.js, which is now our front end. Our current tech stack is a Next.js front end.
But unveiling the technologies, or we are losing now the listeners, because they are unveiling.
No, I don't think they get bored.
No, I don't say that.
I think.
Sorry.
I don't think they get bored. A lot of people I think are interested. So we have a Next.js front end that's a React.js framework, and we have a GraphQL API. So other than REST, we use the new standard by Facebook is GraphQL, which gives us also more flexibility, and a Rails backend still. And we need to migrate all the endpoints. So,
but for give a overview, I mean, for me that's a details. A small tech stack that we can choose. For me, there were two things that were putting things complicated, and we didn't. I mean, maybe the final user doesn't realize about that, but they are there. First of all, from one server, we split to two servers because we were splitting from this. The old Rails server was only acting as an API, and we were creating a new server. That means basically double complexity. Okay, that's from one side. And the second thing that put in more complexity, we were serving two sites, Glolent and Gerlent, okay, from two instances, and we wanted to at the same time
have one instance
to say one instance. So that is a lot of headache, of course, because you have a lot of, and we wanted to do all of this without affecting the normal workflow of the app. That is a third thing that gives a lot of headache. Okay, so that the three things that were putting more headache in the app, because if you start from scratch, maybe you can have everything in the half the time or even less. But
the thing is that it's a good decision for me because I really like to have a separation of concerns. For me, the front end interacts with the back end, but it should be a different thing. And I think having an API is so cool because you can open source it, you can give it to the community, what we did. You can basically start an app and the backend is ready, especially if you have a GraphQL API. You can, you have all the flexibilities and you have not one giant code base with all the front end and all the back end code intermingled. And so that was really cool. I like that about the current state. So it's simplified architecturally. It's simplified the whole app.
It's one is architectural that, I mean, for the current scenario, I think it's a little bit big as we need. But the idea is that it's scalable in the future. If you have an API, okay, we have a GraphQL API.
Yeah.
Great. But this API means that it can be consumed for everybody. Now we have two shops. We say Glolent and Gerlent that they are consuming it. But in the future, we can have a native API app, or you can have a Electron app.
You can have whatever. You can have external people access our job board, for example, right? So we have that offer already, and today someone actually wrote me again about it, and we will start doing this, and this is so cool because it opens up our app for the community, and gives us something special. Shows us shows that we are concerned about technical things and flexibility, and it's like building a house but building the foundation of the house.
Yes, exactly.
And from there you can continue building.
It's like nobody sees, but it's very important. And the API well designed, I think it serves the purpose right now, and even in the future we were putting more effort to have an API that gives service for future needs. That is something important.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So I think
in the future,
I think it's okay. I mean, the product is great right now. What we have, okay.
It's really great. Yeah, I really love it, and everyone I show it to, they really like it, and they really see the difference between what we have now and what we had before. Also, I must say the loading times are fast. It feels faster than before.
Oh, very
the Rails app.
It's SPA. The Rails app was slow because if you run the server, you have to send the whole chunk of XML each time. It's slower if you allow the client to render it.
Yeah, it's a single page application. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And it feels super fast, and I love that. And for me, it's basically the foundation of also a big part of our brand. And we kind of re-releasing our brand after. After working on Gerlent for 3 years now.
Exactly.
It's a big step, and also like we use some other technologies where like some no-code technologies. Let's say we use Typeform for some forms, and we used Medium for our blog. So we had an own blog on our website before, and the blog was maintained by a Jam and so on. But it was complicated because a lot of things, it required a lot of time. And we don't necessarily want to spend that time on the blog or on configuring how the blog looks and so on. So we decided to outsource it. And the cool thing is, even now on Medium, we have like new signups already because people read it on Medium. We have like 25 claps or so, for the articles. people, it's more accessible because it gets shown to random people, and Medium is such a cool platform to share.
It's a very cool platform.
Simple blog.
I love it. Medium, yes. No, I mean, it's the of course, outsource to third parties. What is not the core of our business is I think it's a good idea. I mean, because our resources are limited. We don't have 4 hands and all the time for putting. I mean,
and we're working actually most of the time for a client. So
exactly.
That's but what do you think would you do differently if you did it again? Maybe.
Well, I think maybe we were putting some energies in things that doesn't give us any ROI right now. For example, we were putting some energy in translations. Okay, so our translation to the website was a big feature because you had to configure the whole Next.js framework in a special way. You had to connect to the backend server. You had to different instances that were serving German and English, the other was serving German, English, and Spanish. So it was a lot of headache there. And if you are a big team, it's okay. You do it 1-2 weeks, it's okay. But we were not a big team, so it was delaying a lot of other stuff. What was most important, I think. That's for example. One thing.
I thought about it. The question with the translations is you're right, we spend a lot of time there and it's not really core to our business, but it's the only solution I saw to stay flexible in the future. If we had fixed keys in the front end, fixed translations, that's basically a problem, because then we again have to have multiple repositories, or we have different code bases. If all the logic for the front ends and the data is in the server, we have one single source of truth, but it's painful. I agree.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just something we had to do. Maybe I wouldn't have done the very first thing. So, but in that moment, we thought that was the most important thing. So, that's it.
And it works now.
And it works now. So it's okay, no?
It's okay.
I mean, maybe the authentication, it was cumbersome as well, but I think it was the only way to do it.
Yeah, it was the only way to keep it working as it worked before, and so on. You know,
but made us as a workaround, because it's something that because we are in a stage now that we have still some dependencies from the old app. No,
we don't. No,
we don't.
Our application is complete in the sense of we don't reference the old app anymore, and I will remove the old front end this weekend.
Okay, then some well, I don't want to talk about that now, but maybe it's some dependencies that we have to the login. We're sending tokens go and forth.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore.
We don't need that anymore.
Yeah, we don't need that anymore. So this is what I'm going to concentrate this weekend, actually. To remove all the front end from the old app, and then we only have the new front end, the new beautiful face.
Exactly, and then we have to iterate to make it nicer and more compelling.
Yeah, we have to make it more, basically more appealing and more complex. I want to add a dynamic job board, basically. Improve the job board, because what I realized, most people using our application are most interested in the job board. So if we concentrate on that, make that more appealing, make that more complex, and customized for people, then I think that's a good way. And we have a good base, basically. And
and the code base is there. I mean, and it's easily scalable. Sorry. Good.
Yeah. So as a final thought, because I want to start keeping these podcast episodes a little bit shorter, so it's more like chunks of knowledge.
Chunk of podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fast food podcast.
It's a tapak podcast.
We live in fast food times. We don't have time to consume large amounts of information. No. So the final question. What do you think? Where will we go with this app in the long term? If you think in 1-2 years, where do you think we will be?
I would go more mobile, more app friendly, maybe. Talking about the app and to make the API documented and ready as a product for selling it.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, basically, and keeping the dependencies. But I think the stack is super modern because Next.js, React, and GraphQL. So it's the top of the top.
Yeah.
So we don't have to put so much effort showing new technologies. But yeah, more mobile, maybe apps, and putting the API as a product.
Okay, it's a good thing. Yeah, I think we will add complexity to the job board and maybe create a kind of solution that is even more configurable without code, like a no-code application. But that's just an idea.
For sure. There's something to take in consideration. Yeah, do more a service for building pages without code knowledge. Yes,
exactly. Yeah. Great. So thanks again, Vicens, for your time, and thanks again for the work on the website, actually. So you did a lot of the groundwork, and it's really come out great.
Well, you did a lot of work too as well. So we are equal there.
Equality, fraternité,
liberté, égalité.
Liberté.
Yeah.
In that sense, take care, everyone. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode. Ciao, thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Glolent podcast, the podcast for freelancing and remote work in practice.